Tune-Up 2021 training, BIC and BIM. The 2021 Tune-Up length of visit will be approximately 3.5 hours for each. The BIC Manufield Tune-Up, part number 02-000-8600, will include replacing the shaver blade, replacing the LMS valves, replacing O-rings for the water and CO2, replacing the shaver motor belt, verifying the ice bin drain is clear, replacing the ice shaver gasket, cleaning the condenser drip pan, refrigeration, condenser coils, and drain lines, checking our water and CO2 pressure settings. We were going to wash, rinse, and sanitize all three grates, ice bin lid, and shelf. Calibration. We're going to test product by making a drink to confirm drink size and consistency. Perform a weekly cleaning. We will also be installing the new 4.0.10 firmware along with 2 blender shafts. This is the BIC Tune-Up parts list. LMS valves, O-rings, ice shaver gasket, Oetiker clamps for securing the LMS valves, the ice shaver belt. You'll get instructions for the USB 4.0.10 upload. You'll get a USB with the 4.0.10 software preloaded, cup grate O-rings, and the lower assembly blender shafts. Note, before performing any tune-up, please verify operation of machine with manager. Our BIM tune-up will include replacing the ice shaver blade, the drive socket, the LMS valves, the O-rings for the water and CO2 fittings. We're going to replace the touchscreen overlay. We're going to clean the refrigeration condenser coils, the condenser drip pan, the drip pan on the side of the unit, the water and CO2 pressure settings. We're going to check those. We're going to do a wash, rinse, and sanitize. We're also going to calibrate the machine and report any sanitary issues to the manager and note it on the checklist. The BIM tune-up will be part number 000-BIC-00FG-S. Those parts will include the LMS valves, O-ring, ice shaver gasket, Oetiker clamps, drive socket, overlay kit, blender and shaver belts, along with instructions for English and French Canadian. Again, just as if the BIC Manufield, we want to make sure that before performing this tune-up, we verify operation of the machine with the manager and note any broken parts or black spots on the screen. Before you begin the tune-up, be sure to ask the manager, are all the slots functioning? Have there been any service issues with the unit recently? Are the drinks calibrated, coming out to satisfaction? Inspect the condition of the blend pitchers, especially the gear on the bottom. Inspect the condition of the blender shafts. Are the drinks being blended properly and completely? Does the display have any black spots or cracks? Are they missing any parts, blender grates, splash guards? Do they have all the equipment to clean the machine with? Are there any current open calls for service before you begin the tune-up? To reduce the risk of injury, unplug the unit before beginning any repair or upgrade. Just a slight warning, shaver and blender blades are extremely sharp. Make sure you handle them with caution to avoid any injury. Unplug the units from its power source. Remove all product from the cabinet and place in the walk-in cooler. Remove the lid and ice shelf from the ice bin. Remove the shaver wheel. To do so, hold the shaver wheel firmly in one hand while turning the paddle nut counterclockwise with the other. If the paddle nut is too tight to loosen by hand, you can use a pair of pliers. After removing the paddle nut, pull the shaver wheel up and off of the shaft. Inspect the old shaver gasket and replace with the new gasket. 3434865 is the part number for the BIC shaver gasket. For the BIM gasket, it's 1706266. Be careful the actuator rod does not fall out when the bowl is removed. Verify the actuator rod is in place when resetting the ice bowl in place. The rod must be in its sleeve so it can depress the safety actuator switch just before placing down the bowl. The shaver and blender blades are sharp. Always handle these with care. Remove the 2 screws that secure the ice shaver blade as shown below. Note that the screw holes in the shaver blade are recessed to allow the mounting screws to fit flush with the top surface of the blade. Remove the 2 screws that secure the shaver blade and shims to the ice bin cartridge. Inspect the shaver blade. If both sides of blade are damaged, inform the store manager they will need a new shaver blade, part number VMP 00125, which is not included in the scope of this tune-up. Rotate the blade and reinstall. Be careful not to lose or drop the shims. The North American BIM shim alignment should be 2 number 7 shims. The BIC shim alignment will be 2 of the 056, which are the thin shims, and 1 of the number 7 thin shims. BIC manual LMS valves. On the BIC manual, the LMS valves are located beneath the UI display screen and can be accessed by 4 outside screws holding the plate in place. Warning: always plug the drain hole to prevent screws from falling into the drain. Be careful not to crack the plastic plate while lowering it to work on. With the line still warm, you can either do a product line flush or a zone 2 cleaning to warm the lines up, and it will be much easier to pull down the manifold. You can also feed the lines up through the chase duct by getting inside the cabinet and pushing the slack of the lines upward. On the BIM, remove the 2 screws from the side of the touchscreen cover. Push the foam down to access the top screw. Remove 3 screws and the plenum cover. Pull out the stainless steel tube divider plate. Remove 1 screw, securing the tube assembly into the dispensing chute. You can pull then the whole tube assembly free and remove the 2 screws and the black plate. Remove and discard the old LMS valves inside the tube caps and replace with the new LMS valves. Verifying the CO2 and water pressures are set. BIC will always be set at 35 psi dynamic CO2 and water. BIM will be set 40 psi CO2 and 35 psi water, dynamic also. Remove and clean the drain line. Replace both O-rings on the water and CO2 lines. Clean the condenser drip pan and refrigeration condenser coils. BIC manifold drains. To snake the drain lines, pour hot water down each one. Then take a piece of 1 1/4 by 3/8 clear tubing and snake the line while the hot water is sitting in the drain. Verify the water is draining sufficiently out of the modular blenders. Check the unit also to make sure it is level from front to back, side to side. There is a video available of this on the multiplexbeverage.com website. Shaver belt. For the BIC and BIM, you want to remove the back panel and the 2 screws holding the SRB plate and lay the plate down to access the shaver belt. Use a 3/8 end wrench and a 1/4 drive ratchet with a 3/8 socket to loosen the 4 bolts that hold the shaver motor to the support. Slide the shaver motor towards the back of the unit to tighten the shaver belt and tighten down the 4 3/8 head bolts that hold the shaver motor in place. Verify the ice bin lid safety switch operation by making sure the actuator rod makes contact with the DP-ST switch. On the BIM, we want to also change out the screen overlay. Clean the screen with the towelettes provided in the kit, then dry the screen area. Carefully place the overlay into position and verify screen response to touch commands. After verifying the screen is still responsive with the overlay in place, firmly run a finger around the black border of the overlay to set the adhesive. Replacing the BIM drive socket. Lift up the front right-hand corner of the scale pad to locate the set screw. Use a 5/64 Allen wrench to loosen the set screw. Remove the old drive socket. Place the new drive socket on the drive shaft. Tighten the set screw finger tight. Do not over-tighten. Then back the set screw off about a quarter turn so that you can verify that you have about 1/8 of an inch play up and down. The BIC calibration. Before you start calibration, please fill the ice bin with ice. Place a cover on the ice bin. The cover must be in place to deactivate the shaver safety switch. Both nozzle and cabinet temperature should be 39 degrees or below. Set your scale to display ounces. Place the empty cup on the scale, tear the weight to 0, place the cup under the dispense area. Enter the weight one time only. Follow the same process to calibrate all flavors, water, and ice. This image shows a gold cup standard fill line, which is the same for all cup sizes. This is a target fill line that will vary slightly from drink to drink. If drinks are consistently short of first indent on the cup or consistently overfilling the cup, perform another calibration verification and/or recalibrate. BIM calibration. Before you start, again, you want to fill the ice bin with ice. Place the cover on the ice bin lid. In the manager's menu, type in 89531 and press enter. Select scale calibration and follow the on-screen instructions. Press exit when all steps are completed, then press return to go to the drink selection menu. Make a few sample drinks to confirm drink size and consistency. For both the BIC and BIM, we want to perform a Zone 2 weekly cleaning. You can do that by following the prompts on the screen. To turn off the red wrench on the BIC, you will go first to the manager's menu, enter A as your password, then arrow down twice to see the service wrench. Once in the service wrench, you'll enter A as your password again, arrow down once, then you'll go to planned maintenance. Once in planned maintenance, you'll select mixer maintenance performed and type in silence as your password this time and hit the green check. For the BIC manual fields this year, we're going to update the firmware to the new 4.0.10. Remember, make sure that the unit is on before you insert the USB stick. Leave the USB stick with the 4.0.10 firmware in during the whole process of the upload, regardless if the unit tells you to remove it. Wait a full 20 seconds when powering off between uploads to allow the string files to load. When updating firmware, always make sure that the unit is on before inserting the USB stick, which is part number 0200008501 included in your kit. Follow the included separate instructions, BIC update to 4.10, which is also included in that kit. This year on the BIC, we will also be changing out the blender shafts. Change both blender shafts, regardless of what condition they are in. To remove, take out the blender grate, push up on the cup cover, then turn the shaft clockwise until removed. Take the new shaft and turn it clockwise to tighten. Shafts need only to be hand tight. To lower the motor carriage for easier install, go to your output screen in the service screen. Lower your slide and pull the door out as soon as it gets to the down position, which will make it easier to slide in and to connect to the barrel of the motor. Updating the last maintenance screen. After changing both blender shafts, you must update the last maintenance date screen. Go back to your Easy Touch screen, choose the manager's menu, put in A as your password, arrow down, go back into service, put in A as your password, then arrow down. Once, go back to planned maintenance and select mixer maintenance performed. Except this time, we're going to put in the code OEA422R for the right shaft. Once you've entered that code, you're going to hit the green check and you're going to get a confirmation that the blender on the right-hand side, the right shaft, has had maintenance done. Go back into mixer maintenance and enter the code for the left shaft, OEA422L. Hit your green check and you'll get a confirmation on the left-hand side shaft service done. To verify, afterwards, touch your U-turn arrow at the bottom left of the screen. Bring yourself back out to where the service wrench is at and select the blender log. And you'll see where the right and left-hand shaft replaced have been logged into the blender log. You can also arrow down twice and you'll see on your blend cycles where it has also been logged under left shaft and right shaft change out maintenance dates. On the back page of your BIC and BIM Tune-Up checklist, you'll find a form that needs to be filled out completely. Have the store manager sign and print their name at the bottom. Send your completed tune-up checklist to rise.callcenter@wellbuilt.com, or you can fax it to 920-683-7592. Submit the claim for the service work to the Multiplex Beverage Claims Processing System. For technical support, you can dial 1-844-724-2273 and select options 2, then 1, then 2 to speak to someone in technical support about the tune-up process. We have online videos, documents, and parts diagrams at the Well-Built Multiplex website, multiplexbeverage.com, Easy Parts website, which is manitowocice.sysonline.com, warranty at manitowocfsg.com/service/warranty verification.asp, and we also have a youtube.com for our Multiplex Beverage YouTube videos.